Good morning. I want to share something with you that I thought was so beautiful that I was like meditating on it all day yesterday, and it's just so beautiful the way that the Lord heals and how close He is whenever we're really going through stuff and struggling. And something that the Lord really revealed to me in like a brand new way that was just so beautiful. So many of us know this scripture: the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. And the beauty in this verse, because those of us who have been crushed in spirit and who have had a broken heart, oftentimes, whenever we were in the world, we would run to friends, we would run to alcohol or drugs or, a slew of other things. But whenever we are adopted, we know that we can take every single thing to God, and He really is close to us. And then in Psalm 147:3, it says He heals the brokenhearted and He binds up their wounds. And I was meditating on these scriptures yesterday because I'm a nurse, for those of you that don't know. And I'm sorry for this weird light thing. I don't know what's going on. Something with the light over there. But I'm a nurse. So for me, I saw it in the natural. Like whenever, I'm doing wound care on a patient. Because that's what this is. We have a wound and the Lord is close to us. And so I started thinking about like whenever the doctors do like bedside debridement and how careful they have to be. And they come back and they check on it and they check that it's healing, and they have to be so careful because if they cut away too much, then they cut away part of the healthy tissue. And that can cause a slew of other problems. And it reminded me of the wheat and tares, like how they grow up together. Because if you cut them, if you pull them out too soon, then you might pull out the good stuff too. And the way that the Lord does things is just, it's so beautiful and so amazing to me. And, the word says His ways are not our ways. And we don't always understand them, but how beautiful is this? So whenever the word says to count it all joy when we're persecuted, we really should, because then the Lord is the closest to us in those moments, because He's binding up the wounds. He heals us and He binds up our wounds. And He spends such intimate time with us, revealing to us the things, the areas that we struggle in, and doesn't just fix the thing that's wrong and healing us. He reveals to us the way that it happened, the way that it was able to slip in, the way that we were able to be deceived. And it increases our discernment and positions our heart to be more inclined to hear God and to ask God to lead us and guide us. And that doesn't mean that, if we do those things that we'll never ever experience a broken heart again. Excuse me. But we can be encouraged that when that does happen, that the Lord is going to be so close to us. And I think it's so beautiful that He doesn't rush healing, that we have to feel the things that we're going through. And we have to process those things and the beauty and the growth that we receive once we have been hurt, once we have been crushed, and then we get to turn around and strengthen another. And sometimes, people will go through stuff that we've never been through, and we can just sit with them. Sometimes whenever people just get it out, it helps to bring healing. Healing comes through tears. Healing comes through many different forms. But we have to be able to feel the things and process the things. And the Lord will walk us through all of it. And once you've been crushed, once you've been wounded, you can understand why the word says, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted in Matthew 5:4, because you know that you will. You know that he shows up. You know that he's a comforter because you've experienced it for yourself. And then also, blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Matthew 5:11. It doesn't feel good whenever people are saying things against us. It doesn't feel good when people believe things that aren't true. But here it's telling us that blessed are we when people do these things against us. Because of God. If you've ever finally built up the courage to talk to a stranger about Jesus and then they insult you, it's telling us here that we're blessed. And I believe that the blessing is in the closeness that we have with Jesus. That intimate time that he spends to bind us up and to heal us and to strengthen us and to grow us. The crushing, the wounding, the hurt, it doesn't feel good. We don't count it all joy because it feels good to be hurt, because it doesn't. But being healed, being comforted, being strengthened by the Lord, there's nothing like that. There is nothing like the closeness and the attention to detail from the Lord when we are hurt. And the most beautiful thing whenever the Lord is healing us from new hurts is past hurts become revealed, because he reveals how it gets in. Just like everything that I went through, the Lord revealed to me how those things were able to slip in. How I was able to tolerate certain things for so long. How I was able to endure. And long suffering, whenever we're going through these trials, whenever we're going through these storms, and we're standing in great faith, it's easy to have faith at the beginning because we know who God is. He's shown up in our lives before. We've seen him do it for others. And we've seen the turnaround, that it's super quick. But the long suffering, whenever you suffer along with the Lord, you get this long comfort. This long period of time, because some wounds take time. I was talking with a friend the other day and she was saying, that it's going to take years to recover from this. And I told her, that there are some things that the Lord has already completely healed all the pain from certain areas. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Something that should take years and therapy and all of this. I did go to counseling in the beginning. But I was also being counseled by the Lord. And He's just so good. He is just so good. And we have to be reminded that no matter what comes against us, that God is going to be God. And things have to happen the way that they do in order to get us to move the way He needs us to move. Because God knows each and every one of us intimately. He knows our thoughts. In Matthew 9:4-8 is whenever He's telling them, it says, knowing their thoughts. Jesus said, why do you entertain evil thoughts in your hearts? And knowing this, in Scripture where it says God knows our thoughts, He hears us, He sees us, it can bring us a great encouragement. Because the Lord knows the thoughts that He thinks towards us. He knows the plans He has for us. So if He knows our hearts and He knows how we operate, He knows exactly what He needs to say and do to get to us. We just have to be receptive. We have to want healing. We have to want the truth. Because until we do, dig our feet in the sand, and we're immovable. And God can't do the work in us if we refuse. Because we have free will. And if we don't want to be healed, then He won't force it on us. So I'm praying today that whatever it is that you've struggled with, whatever it is that you can't see or you refuse to see, that the Lord would reveal it to you and would heal you of all your past traumas. That you would feel how close He is to you in those moments, binding up your wounds, sitting with you when your heart is broken. Jesus. And we count it all joy. We count it all joy. And it says here in James, I thought this was so beautiful. It's where it talks about considering it pure joy. In James 1, verse 2, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So see here, it's telling us, that if God did everything instantly, if we said, hey, God, I need a healing, boom. Hey, God, I need this, boom, boom, boom. We would be like spoiled children. We would become prideful, arrogant. And where would faith be? And it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. So whatever it is that we're praying for and believing for, no matter what it looks like, because the second we start to pray that God moves in a certain way, it feels like, everything that we see, it feels like it's turned completely upside down, completely opposite of what we're praying for. And we just have to endure and persevere and know that God is going to do it. Know in faith. Stand in faith. No matter what it looks like. No matter what it looks like. God, I know you're going to turn this around. And he'll do it. Because he's God. Because he loves us. So no matter what you're up against today, count it all joy and know that the Lord is so close to you. Talk to him. Be real and honest with him about the struggles, about your heart condition. And know that he's going to do it. Because he's God. He is for you. He's not against you. He's not a man that he should lie. And his word is truth. So stand on it. I love you. Be blessed.